Suzuno Kamazuki, Crestia Bell, is Sadao Mao's next-door neighbor and the chief of the Doctrinal Corrections Council, who serves under the Church of Ente Isla. She is most commonly seen wearing a kimono, as she only owns traditional clothes instead of modern ones. Crestia Bell has fair skin, aqua-colored eyes, and long navy blue hair styled into a side ponytail on one side with a strand framing her opposite cheek. It is held in place by a red flower clip that is actually her weapon in disguise, though she allows her hair to run loosely down her back while wielding her hammer in battle. She has a small body and a petite frame with small breasts and a slender figure. Perhaps due to her past career as an executioner, she usually wears a serious expression, which, when coupled with her deadpan tone of voice, often causes her to come across as blunt or insensitive. Having learned about Japan from historical dramas, she initially believed the kimono to be the most appropriate clothing, but continues to wear them out of preference ever after discovering her mistake. Suzuno appears to prefer loose-fitting clothes, as she's usually seen wearing a midnight blue kimono with a yellow obi and a lime green obi-jime, though she has been known to wear other variations of this outfit in similar colors, with different patterns and designs. Despite her youthful appearance, it is mentioned that she is much older than she appears, although according to Emilia, she doesn't speak much of her age for that very reason. As a church inquisitor back in Ente Isla, Crestia Bell wore the standard clothing typically worn by clergy members, her particular variation consisting of long red and white robes lined with gold. She also wore a matching cloak with the same color scheme and a hood, the front of the cape fastened with a gold accessory embedded with large rubies. When Suzuno first encounters the demons of Villa Rosa Sasazuka, she appears as a kind and caring neighbor, commonly doing chores around the devil's castle and cooking for them, even donating a large box of udon noodles to them as a housewarming gift. She tends to dote on them, hand-feeding Mau, preparing lavish, multi-layered bentos for him to take to work, cleaning the apartment, and even instructing the normally lazy Urushihara on how to prepare meals. Her neighborly charm was actually an elaborate act in order to get close to the Demon King so that she could eliminate him. Yet in spite of receiving outdated information concerning the culture, language, and customs of modern Japanese society, Crestia Bell was shown to be a skilled actor. Her apparent congeniality and charitable behavior are such that even the perceptive Emi Yusa believed Suzuno to be in love with the Demon King at first glance, the act initially fooling the normally paranoid hero into letting her guard down around her. Ironically, Sadao was not fooled by her act from the beginning, having quickly deduced early on that a young girl moving next door to an apartment of single men and spoiling them was far too unlikely to ever happen. In Ente Isla, Crestia Bell was a skilled assassin for the church, having easily poisoned the members of the Allied Knights Order while taking out any person deemed a heretic by her superiors. Though the dialogue spoken by Sariel indicates that she was known for her cold-blooded nature, Suzuno is shown to have despised every moment of her job, hinting towards the much kinder nature she expresses while living peacefully on Earth. She personally confesses that she never wanted to kill anyone, and it is implied that she only did so due to her faith in the church and its teachings. Over time, she became disillusioned with the institution and its leaders, though at the time she could only lament the church's corruption. If nothing else, her cooperation and continued allegiance to the organization shows either continued faith in the group's core religious beliefs or simply a dedication to her post as its chief inquisitor. Although her past is stained with the blood of innocence, Suzuno is shown to be a good person at heart. Her continued kindness towards the demons and her strong friendship with Emi and Chiho even after they learn of her true motives are proof of her inherent virtue. Although her mission was initially to oversee Mao's execution and return to Ente Isla, She largely abandons this goal after seeing the torture and destruction inflicted by the Archangel Sariel in his attempts to follow the mandate of heaven, with his kidnapping and torture of her two friends resulting in her subsequent defection. Realizing that Sadao Mao would sooner die than abandon them to such a fate, Crestia Bell can find no trespass in his motives and vows that if caring about others makes one evil, then she too would be. Though she still views Sadao Mao as the devil and sees him as a potential enemy in the future, Suzuno chooses to follow Emi's example and stay in Japan to keep an eye on his group of depowered demons. In comparison to the hero Emilia, Crestia Bell retains her more political-minded views from her time with the Inquisition. She sees bloodshed as unavoidable at times and sees situations from the standpoint of a politician rather than a warrior, something which occasionally causes her to bump heads with the hero. Even concerning everyday situations on Earth, Suzuno's manner of speech is usually very blunt, and she has a habit of voicing her opinions in a brutally honest manner, regardless of the reactions of those around her. Overall, she is shown to be a very practical individual. Suzuno is apparently adjusting to culture shock when she came to Japan, a scene where she one time fainted when seeing how heavily advanced cities in Japan were, as well as how she is ignorant of common technology such as a television. This dislike of a more modern lifestyle, mixed with her fondness for older Japanese culture, has resulted in her only wearing traditional clothing, such as a kimono and yukata, even after learning that it is not the societal norm to do so. Emi also hints that the former Inquisitor is sensitive about her age, as Suzuno is much older than she appears, but does not speak of it.